It's Spider-Man's turn to have a run-in with Godzilla, the king of the monsters. Welcome to the Comic Story and Complete Story series, where you get audio dramas of your favorite comic books, helping you decide what to go out and add to your collection. Today is the sequel to Godzilla vs. the Hulk, with Godzilla vs. Spider-Man, issue 1 by Joe Kelly. I hope you enjoy. Black-suited Spider-Man swings low through Times Square. A blast of energy hits a nearby taxi as he just manages to dodge it. Man, do I love New York, but someone's gotta do something about the crime. Oh wait, I'm someone, Spidey shouts as he dodges another blast from the Shocker. He backflips over another blast. Ha! Lucky you're dressed in black for your funeral, Shocker says as he fires again. Peter's been gone for a few weeks, but has finally returned after traveling to Battleworld and fighting in the Secret War, even gaining a new costume made from a strange alien material. But now, he's back in his element, fighting against the likes of the Shocker on the streets of his city. Big talk, but you've never quite lived up to your potential, Shocky. Don't think today's the day, Peter says as he leaps over another blast and swings in for an attack. He flips over Shocker's head and fires two bursts of webbing that knocks him to the ground. Spidey moves in fast, pinning Shocker to the ground and preparing to knock him out. But suddenly, a massive roar shakes the buildings of New York. Both hero and villain turn in shock to find a massive lizard rising up from the bay, creating a massive wave that washes over the city. Spider-Man turns and leaps to the edge of a building. Oh my, Godzilla! Spidey shouts. He turns back to Shocker, who has already put his hands up. Call a timeout on this? Spider-Man asks. Shocker nods and allows Spidey to web him up to the wall. Good idea. I need to rethink my life choices, Shocker says as Spider-Man swings away. Nearby, Godzilla has entered the city, stomping through the streets and seemingly searching for something. He turns sharply, ripping off edges of buildings with his massive body. Spider-Man swings forward, webbing up all the falling debris to save the civilians below. But the King of Monsters suddenly turns his head and glares at the wall crawler. That's my building. Of course it is. Why wouldn't Godzilla be heading for my place? Parker luck even attracts kaiju, Peter thinks to himself. But he stops short and sees Mary Jane leaning out of a window that Godzilla is about to smash through. Jump, Mary Jane, jump! Peter shouts as he swings forward. Mary Jane leaps out of the window and into Spider-Man's arms. Peter! She screams. I'm sure your friend Peter is just fine, Miss Watson, Spidey shouts as he swings around the corner, trying to escape Godzilla's destructive path. But Mary Jane just glares at him. Now's not the time to pretend, Tiger, Mary Jane snaps at him. Peter is shocked as they finally land on a nearby roof. You know? He gasps. She nods and glares at him. I've known for years. I'm a model, not an idiot, Pete, she snaps at him. But Peter doesn't have time to deal with this, as Godzilla is still on the hunt. He motions to the rooftop door and orders Mary Jane to escape, but they are quickly interrupted. Spider! Black Cat, Spider-Man's current girlfriend, shouts as she rushes to his side, seemingly appearing out of nowhere. I saw that monster demolish your apartment building and I thought the worst! Are you injured, lover? Black Cat says as she rushes into Peter's arms. Mary Jane glares at them both. Lover? She growls icily. Spider-Man pushes Black Cat away and promises to explain everything to the two women once the city isn't being attacked by a giant kaiju. He looks up to see that Godzilla is already stomping towards them. Cat, get Mary Jane to safety now! I'll distract the big guy, Spider-Man shouts as he leaps up and swings away. He swings by the King of Monsters, and Godzilla lashes out and bites through his web line. But Spidey quickly recovers and swings away. He rounds a corner and turns back to see Godzilla quickly following him, smashing through buildings in a rush to catch the wall crawler. But Godzilla has had enough of the chase, and he lets out a massive roar that rings through the city, breaking windows all around them. The vibrations rip through Peter, and he feels his new suit going crazy. Peter grabs at his head in pain as the shockwave rips through the suit, practically ripping it away from his body. Peter falls towards the ground, but manages to grab onto a nearby fire escape. Peter recovers quickly and looks down, seeing the suit plummeting towards the city below. My suit? Destroyed by a roar? That makes no sense. And am I nuts, or did it scream? Peter thinks to himself. He watches in fascination as the suit suddenly begins to morph into a black goo that lashes out against Godzilla. Peter's eyes widen in shock as he realizes the truth. All this time, I thought the properties of the suit were due to it being an alien fabric. It never occurred to me that it was a living being, he gasps. He watches as the suit latches onto Godzilla and begins to take control, creating a symbiotic host out of the King of Monsters. Peter stares in horror as the new Godzilla lets out a roar, and he realizes that he might have just created the thing that will destroy the Earth. In moments, Godzilla's mind is linked to something ancient and evil. A dark god known as the King in Black, who is locked away in a cosmic prison somewhere in the universe. But Godzilla is designed to create balance on the planet Earth, and the arrival of an alien symbiote was just something that he was designed to destroy. But now, the military has arrived and begun to attack the monster. But Godzilla is now too strong. Alien tendrils lash out against fighter jets and attack helicopters, while his massive tongue lashes out at the surrounding buildings. Tanks roll on the streets of New York and open fire, but the rounds have no effect on the alien-empowered King of Monsters. But Spider-Man isn't done yet. He retrieved an old costume and borrowed some weapons from a nearby villain. Friendly neighborhood tailor calling for 1Gzilla. Let's make some alterations, big guy, Spidey jokes as he flies in with the Shocker's weapons, prepared to strike against Godzilla. Spidey swings in and hits Godzilla with an electric-charged punch. The energy pulses through Godzilla, knocking the alien symbiote off of his body as Godzilla roars with pain. But the force of the attack blows back through Spider-Man, knocking him unconscious, and he begins to fall towards the city below. I'm sorry. I did my best to fix it. I hope it was enough, he gasps. Suddenly, Peter is scooped out of the sky. Still dazed, he looks up in shock. I wish I had my camera, he gasps, as he realizes that Godzilla has caught him and is still battling with the symbiote monster. Peter recovers and swings away as Godzilla reaches out and grabs the symbiote by the tongue. Energy begins to build up in Godzilla's throat, and he lets out a blast of atomic breath that rips through the symbiote and destroys it, turning the alien into ash. On a nearby rooftop, Spider-Man cheers and jumps in victory. Yes! He shouts. He turns around to find Godzilla leaning down and glaring at him, a snort of hot breath acting as a warning. Spidey nods and puts up his hands. You don't have to tell me twice. All future spider suits will be made in the USA. By me, Spidey promises. With the world saved, Godzilla turns and stomps back out of the city, disappearing into the ocean once more. Later, Eddie Brock is down in the streets, sifting through the debris for a fallen camera that had been used to capture the battle. But something else finds him. Black tendrils snake out of the debris and begin to wrap around his body. A new voice issues from his throat as the monster takes over. Stop struggling! We have work to do! We are God Venom! The monster snarls. But that is a story for another time. And there you have it, the continuation of the Godzilla Marvel crossover series. I thought this was a fun story, and I'm excited to see what happens next time when Godzilla runs into the X-Men. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And be sure to like and subscribe as it helps out the channel a lot. I'm Dan with Comicstorian, and we will see you next time. Rest in peace, Benny.